Lord, fix me, because sometimes I am the problem. There are days when my pride builds walls, my words wound, or my impatience clouds my love. Give me the strength to let go of my stubbornness, my fears, and my self-centered ways. Fix me, Lord, because I can't fix myself. Shape me into the person you've called me to be, more loving, more forgiving, more like you. Teach me to take accountability, not dwell on my failures, but grow through them. Keep working in me, Lord. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Grab your gloves because we're about to pour some magic. My name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you joined the chaos with me today. Today is Coasting Through the Week Coaster Wednesday, but I have to share a small change to the channel. For a long time, we've had our weekly Coasting Through the Week collaboration, and we've made some beautiful coasters together, and we've experimented, laughed through the mistakes, and created some pieces I'm really proud of. But after listening to my own creative heart, I've decided to retire the weekly collaboration for this channel. The truth is, I only have 3 filming days. And dedicating one of those days has limited me on some of my other ideas and projects I've been excited to try. I also feel like I've really reached a point where I'm all coastered out, my friends. The analytics show that Wednesday has consistently been my lowest performing video, which tells me many of you may be ready for something new too. Don't panic. This doesn't mean coasters are disappearing forever. I still love creating them, and our traveling coasters will definitely carry on. They just won't be a guaranteed feature anymore. What this change means is that it opens the door for more experiments and more opportunity for us to explore and grow together. And thank you to those of you who never missed a video on Wednesday, even though it may not have been your favorite. You are my true shotgun bubble chasers. Coasting through the week has been fun. I'm excited to see where we go next. Craft on, my friends. Chase those bubbles. If you have a YouTube channel and you'd like to join Coasting Through the Week, you can reach out to any of these channels that you'll see pass by on the bottom of my screen on how to get in there. Don't worry, it doesn't take a pint of blood or anything. It's real easy, and it's a great group. I'm going to be using these coasters for my last Coasting Through the Week video. They are Texas style coasters. I'm going to be using my inlays. This is a cowboy hat for this one. And then I'm going to use this cactus for this one. And then I have these cute little hearts that I made. And I want to place them right up here at the top so that we can have a hole and you can hang these coasters if you'd like. I want to get them in my Coasting Through the Week series. And whoever finds them can hang them from maybe their rearview mirror or anywhere they'd like. I have a coaster that's been in my car for 2 years now, and it still looks the same as the day I put it in there. So you absolutely can hang these from your rearview mirror with the epoxy resin that I use, which is Bond Crafter. If you'd like to give that epoxy resin a try, I will put the link down here below, and I have a discount code you can use to save you some money while you're there. I'll bop it up here for you. And please purchase it from their website. If you purchase it from their website, it helps me out too. And it doesn't cost you any more. It just may get to you 2 days later than Amazon Prime. That's it. So I really appreciate that support there, my friend. We're going to be using my octopus inks from Laura's Art Corner. If you'd like to give these inks a go, Laura is in the United States, and she is a supplier for octopus inks. So if you'd like to give them a try, I will throw her link down below. And I also have a discount code for you. I'll bop it up here. So she has tons to look at in her shop. She doesn't just, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Cater to resin art. She has all kinds of goodies in her shop. I promise you, you won't leave without purchasing something. And if you do, you need to come talk to me because something's wrong. I've got my resin right here. I'm using the Bond Crafter epoxy resin, and I mixed up 4 ounces because I need a little bit more for something else. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my coasters here and I'm going to spritz some alcohol in them, and that's going to help out with the bubbles forming around the edges and in the bottom of the coaster, which will be the top because we're working backwards in the mold. And I'm just going to take some of this resin and pour it in there. Oops, I should have put my inlay in there first. Oh, pooey. Oh well, it won't matter. I'm going to put some alcohol on it so I won't get no bubbles on it. Let's just pop it right on down in there. Pushing it down so it'll get the bubbles out from underneath it. I wish I'd have laid it down in there first. Then it would have suctioned itself to the mold a little bit. But when you're using inlays, you don't want to fill your mold up because your inlay will most likely start floating. So you want to lay a little bit of resin down first with your inlay, let it lock itself into that mold and make sure it's not going to go anywhere in your next pour. Now I'm going to go ahead and spritz some alcohol in this mold. And put my inlay in there. I should have put it down in there. I'm talking too much. I got to quit it. Here, let me clean that off. I'm just going to dab that with my napkin. Now, let's set it down in there. Just like that. And now let's pour. All right, I'm going to stop right there. I got a little bit more in this coaster than I did in that one. It's probably too much. Now I'm going to spritz a little bit of alcohol to pop that bubble right there. Put a little bit in that one. We're going to go ahead and drop our inks. Now I wanted to do one of them because the Texas blue bonnets is the state flower in Texas. So I wanted to do the Smurf octopus ink over here. But I want to add some white to it, the enoki, because I want some beautiful little wispy woos running through it. So that's what we're going to do over here. And I'm going to put, I guess we'll add some glitter on the next layer because I should have put it in there. I don't want to make no bubbles bubble up in there. Yeah. But first, let's walk around our mold and make sure we don't have any bubbles with our little bubble wand right here. This right here is called a bubble wand. And Laura has some on her in her shop if you want to go grab you one. But they're awesome little bubble pickers. And they don't scratch your mold. It's nice and smooth. Okay, now we're going to take that Smurf and let's just drop in some color. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And I'm going to stay away from that center because I want that to be as clear as possible so we'll get the best crystal turnout on the other side. And I'm going to let that sit there a minute before we put that enoki on the top. Now I'm going to use evergreen, hot pink, and sunlight in this one. I thought that might be pretty together. We're also going to use the enoki over here as well. Put a little tiny drop there. These inks are very pigmented. You don't need a whole lot. And these white pigmented inks have a little ball in them. And you just shake it up really good and get all that goodness off the bottom of your jar. And then I wait for it to go back down the tube, and then I open it so it doesn't splatter everywhere. And I'm just going to do 2 drops. And let's do 1 more over here. We did 3 in that one and 2 over here. It's probably not going to be very easy to do our wispy woos with those inlays in there. And this one right here might be a little too chunky for this mold. I've been eyeballing that, and I'm sort of wondering if it's going to work out. I hope so. That'd be a terrible way to go out on my last Coasting Through the Week video. I'm going to set a timer for 45 minutes, and then that's when we'll come back and do our wispy woos in it. And what I mean by wispy woos, if you're new to my channel, I just take a little stick that's a pointy, and I make sure I do not touch the mold on the bottom with it, because that will scratch your mold. I just skim right over the top of the resin and drag those inks and just do some wispy woos in it. And if you let the resin rest and let the inks, bloom out and do what they're going to do for 45 minutes, and you come back and then you move through there, it's more likely to hold the beautiful wispy woos that you made in there than it is to go ahead and do it now. It's just going to all blend together and mesh and just be a muddy puddle if we was to do it right now. But if we wait 45 minutes to do it and let that resin thicken up a bit and those inks spread a little, then it's more likely to hold the wonderful wispy woos that we make through there. It will not keep the exact same design that you put in there, but it's going to hold a lot of it. So that's why we're waiting 45 minutes, in case you're new to my channel and you didn't know why I was waiting 45 minutes. Okay, I'm going to move these to my other table, and then we're going to take this extra resin I have left over, and I put a little bit of silver glitter down in here, and we're going to go ahead and prep this mold again so that I can pour it again. I've really been enjoying making these crosses because I make them where you can flip them and show a different scene on each side. Now, this side will have to say blessed because it's written in the mold. But the other side is where I do a little bit of creating. And I just think it's beautiful. Here's one that I made that it says blessed on this side. You flip it over, and then you can just see a whole new creation on the other side. And if you missed my blue one that I made, it's right here. And then you turn it over, and it says stand firm in the faith. It's got real dried flowers in there, shells, starfish. It's really pretty, and they just stand up on their own. Really cute. So we're going to go ahead and fill in that blessed with this silver glitter. Let that cure, and then I'm going to finish creating in it. Not today, but I don't know. We may do a little bit together. We'll have to see. And I also have a friend that I'm making this for, and we can go ahead and do the next pour on it together too. You might get to demold it with me. We'll see. Okay. Let me get this out of the way so I don't get resin on it. And we're just going to pull this down here. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. And then I'll bop you on a time lapse while I finish it in there, because you don't want to sit there and watch that. Take me a minute. And then I'll meet you back on the other side when I'm done. But I am going to show you how I'm going to do that right quick. I like to use these because they're really sharp at the end, so that drops a little bit of resin at a time for me and not a whole clump of it. I like to spritz alcohol in the mold and keep it wet because it makes this resin move for me. So it spreads out a lot faster and easier than me having to do it on my own. Get you down where you can see what I'm doing. And I just get a little bit on my stick and just stay right there in the word that I'm filling in. And you don't want to touch the mold with your stick because you'll scratch it. So just stay right above it. And that's how I'm going to do it. I'll meet you back when I'm finished. And I'm finished. Turned out beautiful. So we're going to let that go ahead and cure up. It's been 45 minutes, so let's go ahead and do our wispy woos. Let me get you down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Let me change my sticks. There we go. And I'm just going to move through here until I'm satisfied with the way things look. Okay. Bring a little bit of that green over there like that. Now, I think that looks good. Okay, we're going to get out of that one. Now we're going to go ahead and move to this one. Let me clean my stick off. Okay. Let's see here. I'm just going to start right here. And move into here. Move some through there. Okay. I think I accidentally hit my mold with this stick. I hope I didn't scratch it. I poured this one really shallow. Should have put a little bit more resin in it. Okay, we're going to leave it alone. Now, some bubbles are going to rise to the top because we just played in the resin and stirred the bubbles up. So now, push that inlay down, make sure I don't have any resin underneath it. Okay, we're going to spritz some alcohol on the top there to pop those bubbles because they're going to start coming to the top of the resin. And then I'll meet you back when we do our next pour on these. See you later. We are ready to move on to the next step. And since I didn't get any clear resin over this inlay to make it really sparkle and dance around when we demold it, I'm going to choose to use black on this because I think black is really going to capture our crystals in that and make it beautiful. On this one, we're going to, it did capture some of the, I did get some of the epoxy resin on this one, but not all of it. I wish I would have paid more attention to that, but I didn't. And these inlays are a little more chunkier than I would have liked for these coasters. So they're sticking up a little bit more than I'd like, because we don't have a whole lot of room to work with in here. You know, it's only so much. So I'm going to use white behind this one. We'll get part of the hat with a whole lot of sparkle, and then this part, it'll be more dull than that. And I'll show you what I mean when we demold it. All right, I have my resin mixed up already right over here to the side. So we're going to go ahead and get these mixed up. I chose the octopus ink and deep black for this one. And then I'm going to use my Tea Expert Pure White pigment paste for this one. I know we're not going to need a whole lot. So I think I'm going to start with this. We might need a little bit more than that. I put 8 drops in there because I want it to be really black. I'm going to be putting one of my inserts on the back because I want these to be traveling coasters if they work out. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glitter to this. I'm going to use the Super Sparkle Silver from Laura's Art Corner. I'm just going to get about that much. And if you haven't tried these Super Sparkle glitters, you really need to give them a go. These are all of the Super Sparkles that she has to offer in her shop. And then there's the silver right up here. Amazing glitters. Okay, I think that's going to work. Do you see it in there? It's beautiful. I hope we'll be able to catch a little bit of it on the other side. Okay, I'm going to let that sit there and degas a little bit while we work on the white for this coaster. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need, so I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. And just get that much. That's probably too much. I'm a too much kind of girl. Tammy, too much. Only thing I'm not too much on is my bank account. It's not too much money there. Okay, I'm going to clean my stick off. Make sure we have it stirred up really good. You have to be careful with pigment paste. Sometimes it can be a little bit trickier to stir up. And we don't want any unmixed pigment paste running through our piece. Although I have done that many times. And when you do things, when you make mistakes several times, you start to learn what not to do. Take my alcohol here. I'm using 99%. It's okay to use 91%. I just wouldn't use as much. And that's going to help out with the bubbles on the edges or anywhere else in there. Hopefully. We hope. I'd rather take my chances with the alcohol than without. Okay, we need this to be a little bit more opaque. Because you're going to be able to see my insert on the other side if we move forward like this. So let me go ahead and get my mica out. I'm going to grab my Pearl X Carbon Black mica powder. And we're going to drop some of that off in our cup here to make it more opaque. Or to make it opaque. Right now it's transparent. And then we'll let this sit for a minute and degas, and we'll pour the other one. All right. That looks good. Is that a bubble? Yep. So I'll make sure I get that filled first. Okay, now we can move forward. All right, I'm going to stop right there. And that's going to give us room to put a little top coat on the back to seal in our insert. Yep. So that worked out perfectly. So I'm going to go put these on my table over there. And we will add the inserts in a few hours. I'll let you know how long when we get there. We have a little bit of clear resin left. And I want to try something in this cross right here. So I'm going to have to mix up some more resin to finish this one. Yep. But all I'm going to do is pour resin over it and put the Midnight Octopus ink in it. And hopefully we'll get to demold that together. If not, then it'll be another video. But I do want to get this done. I want to spritz some alcohol in here. And then I want to go ahead and pour in this clear resin. We're going to let this thicken up. And in about 2 hours, we're going to do something crazy to it. So I'll meet you back for that. Don't miss it. See you later. We're ready to do the next step on our coasters. I have my inserts right here. And we're going to put the NFC reader underneath the insert. So I'm going to get 2 out of here. And then we're going to take the NFC reader and we're just going to place it right there. And the resin's still wet. It's not super wet, but it is wet. Now I'm going to have to lift that because I need to move it up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Now we're going to do that same thing over here. Just trying to get a general idea of where I need to lay that. There we go. Now, I would like to use some of these scriptures, but we're not going to be able to fit any of these on there. We're going to have to use my other ones, which are cute too. They're still cute. So we're going to pick 2 off of here. Let's do a merry heart doeth good like medicine on this one. For this one, let's pick something blue since blue is on the other side. So let's do, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is God. 1 John 4 and 7. Have you all seen these at your local Dollar Tree? They are so popular where I live at. I see them on everyone's purses, it seems like. It's hand sanitizer. The Moonlight Orchid is my favorite. But when I use it up, which it doesn't take me long to use it, because I am a firm believer in hand sanitizer, I take the top of it off. Let me move this so I don't get anything on it. Just screw it like that. And then I refill it with my own hand sanitizer that I mixed up myself. I add extra alcohol to it to make it even better. And then they have these cute little, I got this one for my mom. I have like 3 of them. They have these cute little cases that look like the Croc shoes where you can put your own charms in it. It comes with 1 charm. And I'm going to make some charms with resin. I bought the little things right here on the back to make the charms. So yeah, we're going to make some one day for our shoes. Do you have any Crocs? Do you wear Crocs? Do you like to put charms on them? I do. Oh, I put it on wrong. There we go. I had to fix it. But it's super cute. Isn't that cute? Let me know if where you live at, these are really, really popular in your town. Here's my resin right here. It's the Bond Crafter epoxy resin. And I have the cross because we're going to do something that I want to try out in this. So let's go ahead and spritz some alcohol in our coaster there. And then we're going to go ahead and basically do a little dome. And then I'm going to move these over on my other table and cover them, and then we'll start on this cross. Okay, I want to use these cute 3D dimensional inlays that I made in another project, but I want to see how they're going to look before I make the bigger project with them. So let's see what they're going to look like. Here they are. And they're just little inlays. They're 3D dimensional. There they are. You might see them better on this glove than the lighter colored one. So what we're going to do is, since the cross, let me get you down a little bit. You see how it dips down right here and here. Well, I think this angel might fit, take its hands and put them right in that area. And I think it's going to fit right there. So let's go ahead and spritz it with some alcohol. So hopefully we won't get any bubbles. And let's go ahead and get it down in there, like so. Now, we can't put all three in there. I guess we could, but they'd have to go like this, I think. And I don't really want to do that. I would like to get them, you know, like this, but I don't think that's going to work. Let's see. See if we can fit that one in there. Okay, that'll fit. And then let's put this one right there. Oh, how cute is that? All right, that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to spritz some alcohol in there, and then we're going to go ahead and pour this clear resin in. Lord, have mercy. Why did I do that? All right, I'm going to pick them up. Come on out of there, buddy. I'm sorry, I know. Now I'm making bubbles. It would have been perfect had I not done that. Yeah, we're going to get bubbles in there now. Okay, I got them turned around and they're in there. So now we're going to let them cure. And yes, there's going to be some bubbles in this because I had to pull them out and turn them around. But this is just a test piece to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to spritz some alcohol in there to maybe, maybe pop the bubbles. I know we won't get them all, but maybe to help out with most of them. And I will meet you back when it's time to demold. Not this. I don't know if we'll get to demold this in this video or the next one. So it all depends on if I get it done or not. See you later. Y'all are not going to believe what I realized I done. I was looking at this and I put the angels upside down. So when you turn it over and read bless, the angels are upside down. But we're going to go ahead and put some chameleon powders in it, and we're going to see what it looks like. I'm not going to go the extra mile with this one. I'm just going to drop some chameleons in it. We're going to drop some black behind it, and I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm not going to, yeah, I'm just not going to finish it off, but we are going to see what those angels look like from the other side, even though they're upside down. All right, I've mixed up my colors. So we're going to go ahead and fill up the angels first. And I spritzed a little bit of alcohol in there. I'd really like to let them sit like that before I go in with my next pour. But we don't have time for that, so I'm just going to go on and get with it. This is Midnight Octopus ink. I wanted it lighter than what I put in the angels. Hopefully it won't come out and blend too much with the rest of it. That's why I poured it like that. Trying to keep it contained in that area it's in. And that's all I'm going to do to it, because at this point it's just seeing how the angels look, because I've ruined it by putting them upside down. Alright, I will meet you back for demold. See you later. It's demold time. Are y'all ready? I'm super excited to get these out and see what they look like. Okay, let's start with this one. I hope they turned out pretty. Oh, that is pretty. Now we got to get the inlay out. This one right here should just pop out easy. There we go. Isn't that cute? I think it's so cute. Now we'll get that center out here in a minute, because I'll need to use the heat gun. Let's get this one out and see what it looks like. I love using inlays. I love making inlays. If you'll go to my shop, you will find a bunch of inlays there, and I add more all the time. I'll throw my shop link down below so you can go check it out. Just make sure. I have a lot of people that say they can't find my shop. Make sure when you go to the link, if you'll look below my picture, it'll say home and shop. Click shop and you have arrived at my shop. Just scroll down and you can see everything I've added. It's super easy. And there's that one. I love how the white looks here. It's beautiful. So pretty. And that glitter is just subtle in the background. Very pretty. But we gotta get that resin off the top. So I'm just going to take my heat gun, move it over it. And there we go. Got that one out. So let's go ahead and pull it out. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Isn't that so cute? I love it. Absolutely love it. I'll set a paper towel down there so we can set it on it, because it's just been made, so. And you can find a lot of these inlays in my shop. I make all different kinds. Okay, now let's get this off and see what it looks like. That turned out so cute. I love how a little bit of the green went in the center. That's beautiful. We got some yellow in there. Super cute. But do you see the sparkle difference? This is an opaque color behind the sparkle, and this is a transparent. You get more crystal dancing around on the transparent background than you do from the opaque. These are some really cute coasters. Really cute. Now we're going to go through and we're going to clean up those edges from where we pulled our inlay out. And how we're going to do that, or how I like to do it, is I take this little tool right here and I use that flat end right there. I take my heat gun and I heat it up with one hand. You don't need to add a lot of heat, just a little. And just scrape it right along that edge. And it cleans up really nicely. And now we're finished. Turned out beautiful. Let me know which one's your favorite. Now let's get this out and see what it looks like. I can't believe I turned those angels upside down. I was so excited I wasn't paying attention. It was my first time using them. Alright, here we go. Oh my goodness, they're so stinking cute. But you can't really see them because I think it's because this is matte. Let's check it out. Let's check that theory out right quick. Since we've messed this up, we might as well just continue on, right? Let's just keep messing it up. I want to see something right quick. And there it is. You can see those angels so good. How crazy is that? I'm just going to cure this up so we can see it a little bit better. I can pick it up and bring it up to the light for you. All right, let's pull that light off of it and see. Look at that. They're so cute in there, aren't they? So very cute. I love angels. Cherubs are my favorite. Look at the angel's wings right through there. His feet come up through here. His hands are down here. And his little face is right there. And then this one's just sitting down with his knees up to his elbows. Just sitting in a sitting position like he's thinking. And then this one is just sitting kind of like in a yoga pose or something. But I love how that dark black didn't move through the rest of our piece. Do you see that? It pretty much stayed right there in the angels. And the reason it done that is because of how I controlled it while I was putting it in there. If you will watch where you pour your resin at so that it will stay pooled, you know, right here where you want it, then it'll be less likely, it will less likely move all around the piece. And then another trick I'll share with you to keep it right there where it's at is take something and dip right out of each of them so that resin will try to recover where you have taken it from. And so it just keeps it right there. I hope I'm making sense. Sometimes I don't explain things the best. But hopefully you know what I'm saying. And we have reached the end, my friends. This is not the last of the coaster making on this channel. And maybe we will visit Coasting Through the Week down the road in the near future, just to visit and see what they're up to. They are a great group of people, and if you're interested in joining the collaboration, you can reach out to those that run it. At the beginning of the video, you will find the channels that you can reach out to. Like I said, they're a great group of people, and Coasting Through the Week is wonderful to get in and join and show some of your creativity if you have a YouTube channel. I couldn't count the ways that I've made coasters in my journey and Coasting Through the Week. I have made some crazy things. We have had such a wild ride, my friends. It has been fun, fun, fun. And if you're a new YouTube channel, it's good to get into a collaboration like Coasting Through the Week because it helps your channel out. Their subscribers get a chance to see your channel, and it gives them a chance to see if they resonate with you and check out your creativity, what you're bringing to the table. So it gives your channel sort of a boost. And it's a whole lot of fun. And like I said, Coasting Through the Week has a great group of people in it. And if you enjoy making coasters, you can make them in any way that you want. Well, let me know which coaster is your favorite. And it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.